I didn't plan for the night to unfold the way it did. Honestly, I only meant to sit down for a moment, just long enough to finish my drink and let the soft glow of the room settle into my bones. But the second I sank into the chair beside them, crossing my legs and brushing my fingertips along the rim of my glass, something inside me shifted. The air felt warmer, quieter, heavier with unspoken things. They were talking softly, at first cautious, then slowly slipping into an easy rhythm that made the room feel smaller, more intimate. Like I had stepped into a space I wasn't meant to touch yet couldn't pull away from. I had convinced myself I could stay on the sidelines, stay untouched, stay neutral. But the longer I sat there, the harder it became to pretend I wasn't being pulled in emotionally, drawn closer by something I didn't yet understand. Before we dive deeper, remember to like and subscribe. It keeps this little corner of the world alive. And if you already have, thank you, truly. Now, let's begin. She was curled into the couch the way someone curls around their sadness. I swear, she sighed, I don't even remember what it feels like to really connect with a man. She said it quietly, almost like it was embarrassing even to admit it. I laughed softly, swirling my tea just to keep my hands busy because the emptiness in her voice hit me harder than I expected. That's kind of sad, I teased gently. She groaned, rubbing her face. It is. It's been months. Maybe a year. I blinked, startled. No way. I can't even go a week without talking things through with my husband. Emotional check-ins keep us steady. She rolled her eyes dramatically. Yeah, we get it. You won the husband lottery. I smirked because she wasn't wrong. I did. The man knows how to make a woman feel understood. She exhaled heavily. A sound that wasn't just tired, but hollow in that deep, quiet way that comes after too many disappointments. I studied her more carefully. She looked worn, not just from life, but from the weight of feeling unseen for too long. It wasn't just loneliness. It was the ache of going unrecognized, untouched emotionally, unnoticed where it mattered most. Maybe that was the real wound. Maybe that's the problem, I murmured. She frowned. What problem? I leaned in slightly, lowering my voice. You think you're feeling this way just because of the divorce. But maybe you just need someone who knows how to really listen again. Her head snapped up, eyes wide. Excuse me? I only smiled, lifting my cup to my lips. You wouldn't need to go looking far for that kind of support. She blinked, confused. What does that mean? I let the silence stretch, let the tension simmer, then finally said, what if I shared a little of the support I get from him? Her breath hitched, her eyes going even wider. You're kidding. But I wasn't, and I think she knew it. Later that afternoon, the three of us ended up lying fully clothed on the bed, talking under the soft wash of afternoon light. The air was warm, peaceful, almost too gentle for what stirred underneath. I stretched out, fingers brushing over my husband's sleeve, comfort blooming in my chest the way it always did around him. That was amazing. I murmured, not the moment, but the conversation, the shared honesty. He smirked softly, eyes half-lidded with calm. The quiet settled around us like a blanket. Then I said it. She needs this. His brow furrowed. Who, your friend? I propped myself on one elbow. She's lonely. She needs grounding. She needs support again. He frowned, unsure. I dragged my fingers lightly across the back of his hand, feeling him breathe deeper. And maybe you can help. His body tensed, surprised but not afraid. Wait, you're serious? I nodded. You've always been good at offering emotional grounding. He rubbed a hand over his face, conflicted. I leaned in, brushed my lips against his cheek, whispering, You trust me, don't you? His fingers tightened around mine, and I knew the answer before he said anything. The next morning, while pouring coffee, I casually said, We should invite her over. My husband walked in groggy, hair tousled, mug waiting on the counter. He frowned. To talk? I smirked at the way he said it. And by talk you mean... I raised an eyebrow in silence. He sighed, rubbing his neck. But he didn't say no. And that was enough. I sent the text. She replied almost instantly. Sure. I could use the company. When she arrived, she looked drained, but her eyes carried a spark of curiosity. We settled with our coffees. The moment stretched before I tilted my head. Been thinking about what we talked about. She glanced at me carefully. Maybe. I smiled slowly. She sighed. I get what you meant, but it's not exactly easy to just… She gestured helplessly. I leaned in. What if it was? Her brows knit. What do you mean? I reached for my husband's wrist, brushing my fingers along his skin. Her eyes flickered between us. We want to help, I said softly. Silence filled the room. You're serious? She whispered. I nodded. She swallowed, looking from me to him, searching for something safety maybe. You trust me, don't you? It took a long moment before she set her coffee down, hands trembling slightly. What exactly are you suggesting? I didn't answer. I simply stood and said, Come with me. I led them to the bedroom, not for anything physical, but because conversations hit deeper there, the air quieter, the world softer. My breath was steady, but emotion hummed under my skin. She hesitated in the doorway. My husband stood stiff, processing. I moved to him first, placing a hand over his chest. His breathing slowed. Then I turned to her, sliding my hands gently over her shoulders. She didn't pull away. Her lips parted like she wasn't sure if she should speak or breathe or run. The quiet shifted with trust. My husband reached for her hand, slow and deliberate. She exhaled shakily. I stepped back and sat beside the bed, watching the way his voice steadied her. How she softened under the weight of being understood again. I crossed my legs, warmth spreading through me. This emotional intimacy was what I wanted to give her. Do you like the way he talks to you? I teased softly. She didn't answer, but the relief in her eyes said everything. Their conversation deepened, voices intertwining, vulnerable, tender. I listened until the need to join surged too strongly to ignore. I stood, moved closer, let my fingers graze my husband's arm. He looked at me, something deep in his gaze. She turned too, caught between hesitation and hope. Move up, I whispered to him. He obeyed, then I reached for her. Come here. She followed, settling beside him, their shoulders brushing. I touched her arms lightly. Just like that, I murmured, tilting her chin gently so she'd meet my eyes. Let yourself be supported. She exhaled a trembling breath, fingers curling lightly at my waist. Emotions swelled, slow and steady. We talked, all three of us, our voices weaving together. My husband's hand rested at my side, grounding me. I held her hand. She leaned into the moment, her breathing uneven. The closeness built until finally the tension eased in a warm rush relief, connection, understanding. We stayed there trembling, breaths catching. No one moved for a long time. The next morning, sunlight spilled across tangled blankets and steady breaths. I stretched lazily, warmth still humming through me. My husband stirred beside me, his arm heavy around my waist. She shifted on my other side, fingertips brushing my arm. No awkwardness. No regret. Just quiet, unspoken closeness. I looked between them, a slow smile forming. I told myself this had been for her. But now I wasn't so sure. Maybe I had needed it too. And deep down, I knew this wouldn't be the last time. Is this something only the bold explore? Or something that should stay unspoken, tucked in the dark? Tell me what you think in the comments. And if you felt the heat of this moment, like and subscribe. You won't want to miss what comes next.